Hello all. As we are speaking, there are hardly 120 days for your prelims 2024. So you have invested more a year or more for this UPSC preparation. And as the time is nearing, so as we have observed among many aspirants, they feel a sudden surge of motivation. Some feel a lack of motivation. Some grow lethargic. Some go complacent. So there are many issues. And now is not the time to be inconsistent in our preparation. So we have come up with a 100-day study challenge. This is a consistency challenge. So this video is about walkthrough of how this program has been planned. So in this 100 days program or study challenge, you will have to invest 5 hours with us, and it has been divided into 3 hours for your study time and 2 hours for your test. So this study time will be from 8 a.m. to 11, and after which you will have a break, and 11:30 to 1:30 you will have this 2 hours where you will have 50 questions for your practice. So let me just give you a brief idea of how a day will be. So let's just take this January 29, which is your first day. So here we have listed out this week will be environment week, which means throughout this week you'll have to study environment. So for each subject we have given 2 weeks, which means roughly 12 days for each subject for your revision. So in this first day, we have just listed out certain portions. These are focus areas which you have to study. You can bring your own reference book with which you are comfortable, which you have already read. It's up to you. There is no compulsion that you all have to read the same book. So you can read this. And if there are doubts that you have in these areas, there will be the faculties available and you can ask that. So, but this session is meant to be a reading session. If you have any doubts, we will take that queries, and when there is a time in the break or meanwhile, we will try to answer that. Okay, so 3 hours you'll have to spend in these areas. If you are, let's say you've already studied these areas, you don't need to spend time, then you can read anything of your choice. But you'll have 50 questions from these areas. Okay, so this study, how we have planned is, so I think it's difficult for us to do the same thing repeatedly, and in a stretch we cannot spend 3 hours, and that was sitting at the same place. It will be difficult, and therefore based on the Pomodoro session, that's Japanese technique, we have divided the sessions into entire period into sessions. So in the first session you'll be having 50 minutes. So 50 minutes you'll have to study. There are certain ground rules for studying. You'll not have to use your mobile phones unless and until there is an emergency or to refer certain sources. You'll not have to speak with others. You'll have to maintain a decorum and a silence here. And you'll have a 10 minutes break. So 50 minutes study, 10 minutes break, then 50 minutes study, 10 minutes break. Then you'll have the last session, which is 55 minutes, post which a 35-minute break will be given, and the test will resume at 11:30. How this test will be conducted is, it will not be a typical test where we will be given 50 questions. You'll have to solve that for 1 hour, and after that we won't come and discuss. This will be an interactive session. The reason why we do this is to reduce your mental fatigue, because you'll have clocked 3 hours and then after that to solve it. So a brain drain can happen. That's why we are doing this. For example, let me give you a sample here. You have some questions. How we are going to solve is, let's say you'll be given 50 questions. Out of this 50, we will set a timer of 5 minutes. When the timer is on, we'll be displaying it, and we'll also be giving you these question papers to you. You'll have to take it, solve 5 questions in a period of 5 minutes. Once this 5 minutes is over, the faculty here will discuss the questions, and immediately you'll get to know went right, where you went wrong. And this will be a self-assessment. You will have to do the corrections. If you need to know your marks and what your score is, you will have to do it by yourself. Right? You are self-account. It's a accountability that is for your own self. Okay, fine. So this is how we are going to take forward this test questions also. So 50 questions in a period of 2 hours. This is our target. We'll see how this proceeds. In this 100-day revision, not only we are going to focus on static areas, we're also going to focus on current affairs. For example, in this environment week, in the February 3rd, that's the 6th day, your portion is to read the environment related topics from May to September 2023. So all the questions that you get on this day, 50 questions, will be purely current affairs questions. So when you discuss it, you are also exposing yourself to the 50 current affairs topics which have come in these areas, And so you can do a revision which is quite effective. Okay. So likewise, for all the necessary subjects, we have made sure that the current affairs is also included. Along with that, we'll also have weeks for CSAT also. For CSAT, it will be a little bit different. 2 hours you'll have to study. 3 hours will be your practice. So 40 questions will be given to you. You'll have to practice. The solutions will also be provided. So 2 weeks you have for CSAT, because CSAT is becoming tricky. You'll have to spend some substantial time for solving CSAT also. So that is why we've done this. All the planner is there. You can click on our websites and the link will also be provided. You can just go through this planner. Okay, fine. So the objective of this particular program is, first, along with the questions that you are solving, before 2 o'clock, before the afternoon session, you'll have to wake up a little bit early, and you will have invested 5 hours, a solid 5 hours you will have invested for your studies. It will be the most productive time. After that also, when you are repeatedly practicing in this fashion, you will develop this habit unconsciously, and consistency will be developed in you. That is why we are able to see a lack of consistency among many aspirants. That's why they are not able to get through. Motivation can only make you cross a distance, but cannot make you overcome a barrier. So if you need to overcome this barrier of prelims, you'll have to learn this consistency. And for those, see, we are primarily focusing on offline, and that is why this program is available not only here, it will be in the offline branches of our Tirunelveli and also in Trichy. But those who are in online, for you, we will form a Telegram group, those who are enrolling in this. In the study session, maybe we cannot monitor you in the online form, and therefore you, if you are free, then you have to study in this 8 to 11. In 11:30, a link will be provided, a YouTube link, a video link will be provided, where you can join us in the live interaction or the session of solving questions. And remember that those who are joining online, the link will be there only for 24 hours, because this is a study challenge. You don't have all day, you can't take backlogs, you cannot just solve questions at a time at your own convenience. You'll have to definitely spend 2 hours with us. So that is the objective. So know the objective, whatever it's the level of your preparation, you can come and enroll in this program. I hope that it will benefit all of you. Right? Any queries, you can feel free to call us. If you still have doubts as to how the session is going to progress, you can come, sit in a day or two, and then also you can decide if this program will be helpful for you or not. So I'm expecting all of you before 8 o'clock. The session will start at 8. And those who are in the online, if you have any doubts, you can just ping your questions in the Telegram group, and we will look at it. And if the need be, we can either discuss it in the platform itself, in the live platform, or we can individually call back and address your questions. Okay, so this is how the session will proceed. So it's my belief that if you are consistently spending the next 100 days in this fashion, you can be rest assured that you can reach that 100 marks in prelims, which can be enough for you to sail through this prelims barrier. So thank you. We'll meet you on the 29th of January.